Thank you. See, you are the most adaptable, fluid group of people that God has ever put on this earth. The story of our life. So, I would like to introduce to you Holly Thompson of the City of Williamston, who will be presenting our awards today because as I said, we switched things around a little bit. Holly was appointed clerk of the City of Williamston in 2009, but served as assistant, deputy, and acting clerk since 2000. She has been a member of MAMC and IIMC since 2001. In 2018, Holly received the City Clerk of the Year award at the annual conference. In addition to her work, she is the director for conference chair on our MAMC board. She's past president and treasurer of Capital Area Municipal Clerks Association, and is the current president of that. I cannot tell you how fabulous she is. She is president of the Ingham County Animal Shelter Fund. If none of you know Holly, please let me explain in one word. Animals. She is the most compassionate, committed person when it comes to animals. And she's past president of the Williamston Area Chamber of Commerce. She received her Master Municipal Clerk designation as well as being a Michigan Professional Municipal Clerk. Holly.
The 2020 elections proved to be an unprecedented, monumental undertaking unlike anything seen up to this point in election administration. We are all amazing clerks and should feel accomplished and proud of what we were able to accomplish under such challenging circumstances. To acknowledge this effort, MAMC recognizes 4 outstanding professionals every year in our Clerk of the Year awards. Individuals are nominated for City, Township, Village, and Deputy Clerk of the Year. A nominating committee of past award winners reviews the nominations and selects 5 in each category to stand for election based on the following criteria: years of experience as a municipal clerk, demonstration of greater than average performance in the position, involvement in county, state, and national associations, demonstrated interest in improving their professional and personal skills and in the advancement of the profession, a record of contributing to the improvement of their community and the respect of the community leaders. It then falls on the general membership to vote for the individuals in each category. And I hope you all voted, right? I would like to now invite a special guest to the stage to help honor the award recipients. Secretary Benson isn't just Michigan's 43rd Secretary of State. She is the author of State Secretaries of State, Guardians of the Democratic Process, the first major book on the role of the Secretary of State in enforcing election and campaign finance laws. A graduate of Harvard Law School and expert on civil rights law, education law, and election law, Secretary Benson served as Dean of Wayne State University Law School in Detroit. When she was appointed Dean at age 36, she became the youngest woman in U.S. history to lead a top 100 accredited law school. She continues to serve as Vice Chair of the Advisory Board for the Levin Center at Wayne Law, which she founded with former U.S. Senator Carl Levin. Previously, Secretary Benson was an associate professor and associate director of Wayne Law's Damon J. Keith Center for Civil Rights. Secretary Benson is a co-founder and former president of Military Spouses of Michigan, a network dedicated to providing support and services to military spouses and their children. In 2015, she became one of the youngest women in history to be inducted into the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, your Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson.
Thank you all, and thank you for that kind introduction. It's really great to just be here in person with all of you and see so many of you face to face for the first time in a long time. And to be here personally just to say thank you on behalf of the citizens of Michigan, on behalf of our democracy. You all were on the front lines, as you know, of really the biggest challenge to our democracy and our election system that our state has ever seen. And it's a challenge that's ongoing. And it's a challenge that you are still leading the charge against in some ways, or for, depending on how you look at it. But the bottom line is, as you know, what we saw last year was when we went into 2020, we knew it was already going to be a challenge because you had all of the new changes that were not only a new Secretary of State, but you had all the changes that were coming to the state constitution, the right to vote absentee, and all of the changes that would mean for your offices, the changes to voter registration, and making sure that we were prepared to meet those new legal requirements was at the front of all of our agendas moving forward throughout 2019 and really leading into the March primary. And then that night, as many of you know, all of you know, we got our first cases of coronavirus, and then everything changed. Yet every single one of you who had an election in May stepped up and ensured that we were able to meet the moment, that you were able to adjust and adapt to provide a democracy and access to democracy in a local May election when citizens actually did still want to participate. And we saw more citizens participate in those May local elections in 2020 than had participated in past May elections. And that gave us an indicator of what was going to come in August and of course in November. The August primary of last year, you all oversaw elections where more people voted absentee than ever before in the August primary. And more people voted than ever before in an August primary when there was no statewide contested election on the ballot. And that was extraordinary. And every single one of you stepped up to meet that moment as well. And then of course, in November, we saw the highest turnout election that we ever saw in our state in every single one of your communities. Sometimes, not only did more people vote than ever before, but you had sometimes twice or 3 times as many people voting than ever before. And you certainly had twice or 3 times as many people voting absentee than ever before. All of this happened in the midst of the pandemic. And you all live this, so you all know this. But I'm recounting it just to say thank you, because there's a lot that's happened since that's trying to take focus off of that success and that story, which is extraordinary. None of us sitting here 2 years ago could have said that everything that we've experienced since would have happened. And that throughout it all, every single one of you stood up, faced the misinformation, the threats, and a lot of the other challenges that you've encountered, particularly in the months since the November election, and handled it all with grace and with confidence. And because of you, our elections are strong and secure and accessible. Because of you, our democracy works for every voter. So I'm really just here, again, to not really, thank you is not enough for what you all have done. You deserve medals of honor from every citizen in this state, many of whom, most of whom, will never know the extent of the work that you did and the sacrifices you made throughout your work as clerks, but really over the past year. But I know them, I see them, the staff of our Bureau of Elections see them, and I want to work to make sure as many citizens as possible know that truth as well. And that's why when it particularly comes to fighting the misinformation that's manifested in many different ways in all of your communities since the 2020 November election, fighting that and pushing back on that and telling the truth is not just our responsibility and our obligation to the citizens, but really something that we should embrace because the truth is a celebration of success of your work. And that's also what we're celebrating here today through the recognition of the Clerks of the Year and their work in particular over the past 2 years. So I want to say thank you again with all of the knowledge that you've endured, much more than any of you ever thought you would have when you signed up to do this job. It's a job that really ensures that the wheels of democracy and the foundation of our state are intact for every citizen. And it's a job that they pay each of you far too little to do because it is really, in my view, the most important job in the state. And so, again, thank you for staying the course. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for still being here on the other side of everything that you went through and endured last year. And know that my office is here to continue to support you and have your backs every way that we can. And one of the ways that we have been doing that and intend to continue doing that is not just amplifying the work that you do and telling those stories and supporting your positions on various policies, but also to ensure that you have the information you need and the support you need to counter the effects of disinformation and attacks in your communities. So the Bureau of Elections here today, led by Jonathan Brader, is prioritizing sharing accurate information about how our elections are safeguarded and conducted, protections in place. We've set up a website to do so, and we also have been working to develop guidance, as you know, on how you can safeguard your election records, your equipment, while at the same time being responsive to any legitimate public information requests. We're going to continue to work with partners in other states as well to counter the spread of false information and these attacks on your work and our democracy. And as this plays out in our state and nationally, please know that our top priority is really supporting you and protecting you and enabling you to do your jobs. And so as we move forward, that communication that we've worked to develop over the past several years, we want to continue to build. And I hope that you know you have our greatest gratitude, my deepest gratitude for the work that you've done, the recognition that you all have that is long overdue, but that I hope that you can carry with you throughout your careers and your work in the year ahead as we continue to move forward, protect everyone's right to vote, protect the security of our elections, and ensure that citizens know the truth about how hard you work to protect their voices and their votes. Thank you. I'll just say thank you. In particular, we weren't here last year to celebrate and award the clerks from 2020. And so I also want to acknowledge and celebrate their work. We have, okay. So I don't think it's clear who's announcing what. Okay, got it. So I'll then recognize and thank the 2020 City Clerk of the Year, Melanie Riska from the City of Sterling Heights. I'm just thanking you. And thank you. And then you're going to announce 2021. And of course, Mary Clark of Delta Township, our 2020 Township Clerk of the Year. Village Clerk of the Year, Angie Kuhn from Calcasta, who's unable to be here, but also the and the 2020 Deputy Clerk of the Year, Amy Whipple from Brownstown. So we'll celebrate your success today, as well as the success and recognition of our 2021 designees, and thank you also for allowing me to be here today to celebrate alongside all of you. Thanks.
Unfortunately, last year we were unable to recognize the 2020 Clerk of the Year award winners in person due to the height of the global pandemic. As a result, we will be calling up both the 2021 and the 2020 winners to acknowledge their accomplishment and celebrate them. For the first award recipient, I would like to introduce last year's Deputy Clerk of the Year, Brownstown's Amy Whipple. Amy was nominated by former Brownstown Township Clerk Brian Peters. She was appointed Deputy Clerk in 2006. Prior to her current position, she was Clerk of Erie Township. When Amy was appointed as Deputy Clerk of Brownstown Township, she was asked to get the elections department in order. Not only did she accomplish this, but she constantly works to improve and make advancements to enhance the election experience for all voters. She has worked with and mentored countless new clerks, deputy clerks, election clerks, and conducted election training for other clerks around the state. Amy has developed and shared her own manuals, training materials, strategies, policies, and procedures. Her skill and commitment have been recognized, and she has been invited to participate at the state level to document best practices and standard operating procedures for absent voter ballot processing in the state's Lean Process Improvement Project. Amy has maintained memberships in the IIMC, MAMC, and Association of Wayne County Clerks. Through her involvement in these organizations, she has achieved her MMC and CMC through the International Institute of Municipal Clerks and her MIPMC certification through MAMC. Former clerk Brian Peters states that beyond her contributions to the Brownstown community, Amy consistently gives her time and efforts in support of other clerks and election staff in the region, freely sharing her manuals and election materials, training other clerks and staff, assisting with training election inspectors in neighboring communities, and being willing to answer questions and talk through issues with her colleagues at the drop of a hat at all hours of the day. She is highly respected by her peers. I'd like to introduce Amy Whipple, the 2020 Deputy Clerk of the Year.
Good morning. I'm very honored to be last year's recipient for the Deputy Clerk of the Year award. I am extremely humbled that some of my colleagues felt that I deserved this award and voted for me. I am still in awe. Those of you that know me, I actually dropped a few words that I can't repeat here this afternoon when I first read that I had won. My mom asked me what was going on, and I didn't answer her until I reread the email to make sure that I actually read it correctly. I was truly shocked to be selected among such an amazing group of talented and admirable candidates. I'm grateful and ecstatic that my previous boss, Brian Peters, believed I was worthy of this award and nominated me. Although Brian did say he received some nudging from other jurisdictions to nominate me, he still hasn't given up your names. Brian has since taken on a new role as our township manager, so I have a new boss now, Maureen Brinker. She is equally amazing and supportive. She hit the ground running since taking office in February and already has an election under her belt. I would like to say thank you for allowing me to spread my wings and continue to grow each day. I appreciate your unconditional support and enjoy working with you. Thank you for acknowledging my hard work, dedication, sleepless nights, and commitment to excellence. I am indebted and thankful for the BOE's support and to belong to both the Association of Wayne County Clerks and the MAMC organization. These organizations have provided me so many learning and educational opportunities that have allowed me to grow stronger in my deputy clerk skills. I am most thankful for the clerk networking that I have experienced and the amazing people that I have met along this incredible journey. I am stronger because of the people that I have met and had the opportunity to both work with and learn from. I have been blessed with many cherished friendships that I will treasure for the rest of my life, and I'm looking forward to fostering new friendships with many of you. To my fellow nominees, thank you for raising the bar. Thank you for being there for me and for taking time to support me. Over the years, I have had the opportunity to reach out to each of you for assistance and learn from you. I have enjoyed the associations or the occasions that have presented themselves so that I could get to know each of you better. Each of you makes our organization stronger because of your hard work, dedication, and commitment to excellence. I feel truly honored to be placed among you for this prestigious award and feel each of you are also winners. Because I have the highest regard for each of you, I will continue to look to you for your knowledge and support. Before I wrap up, I would like to thank a few others who have contributed to my journey. I am fortunate to have a miraculous and supportive staff. They are each committed to their jobs, their quality of work, and have an unwavering commitment to teamwork. They teach me, allow me to grow, and stand by me every day. I am amazed and blessed to work with such wonderful people. They make me want to come to work. They are supportive and drive me to work harder and smarter. I am fortunate to know that there is no I in team. They are a key factor in my success, and I am thankful for each of them for their steadfast dedication. I am thankful and indebted to my family and their support. I would not be nominated for this award if I didn't have their full support. I am grateful to my spouse. Bill understands and supports my commitment to my job, and I'm also lucky that he doesn't mind eating cereal for dinner Monday through Friday during election season. I am thankful he has stepped in and worked a few elections for both myself and my friend Christy in a neighboring community when we were in dire need of getting extra help. I believe these opportunities allowed him to experience all of the intricacies involved in running an election and experience all of the hype that leads up to Election Day. He values me, is proud of me, and is astounded by my commitment to excellence. I am grateful to my mother, my stepdaughter, and my son-in-law who commit to working each election in a precinct, an AV counting board, or a receiving board. I'm thankful that they give up their time for me each election and support me in my Election Day responsibilities. My mom actually winters in Florida and flew home for the March presidential primary to help out because it was only our second election with adjudication since we were piloting, just to ensure that we were successful. I'm thankful to my amazing parents for the values and hard work that they have instilled in me. I'm thankful for the education they provided me and the work ethic sports has carried over into my everyday life. I'm indebted to them for teaching me to reach for the stars, make those big dreams a reality, and to always give 110%. They taught me to value and respect people, treat others the way I want to be treated, and to get up when I fall down. They taught me to be strong and independent. They encouraged me to fight for what I believe in and to own it when I make a mistake. They gave me the courage to go through doors when new opportunities presented themselves, and they continually reminded me that you can't steal home plate if you never leave third base. Thank you for believing in me and showing me your unconditional love and support. And I'm sorry, I recently lost my dad, so I'm sorry. I would like to leave you with, and when the time is appropriate, to smile and commit to meeting someone new. Extend an olive branch, take the opportunity to help someone else, and don't be afraid to call upon a friend when you are in need. You will be amazed by the people and the opportunities that will present themselves. You will grow, be stronger, and make a few new friends along the way. Always remember why you signed up for this job. Serve the public with honesty and integrity so you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of each day. Clerks are strong, resilient, and truly amazing. I can't imagine doing anything else in my life. I take pleasure serving the public, especially Brownstown Township. I love the challenges that present themselves and the new exciting opportunities they create. Embrace today. You never know what tomorrow will bring and what new adventure lies ahead. Thank you. Congratulations, Amy.
Next, I would like to introduce this year's Deputy Clerk of the Year, Bath Township's own, Brenda Butler Challenger. Brenda, the Deputy Clerk of Bath Charter Township, was appointed to her position in 2010. She is an MAMC member and currently working on obtaining her CMC designation. Nominated by her superintendent, Karen Hildebrandt, she states, Brenda can always be counted on to step up and accomplish any task that is asked of her. She is always searching for new and more efficient ways of completing her work. She is a rare treasure, both as a person and as an employee. Her kind heart and determination couple to make her a model deputy clerk, and perhaps someday our clerk. Our township would not have been able to survive without Brenda's tenacity and perseverance. Brenda developed new training manuals for the e-poll book, and the county even began using her instructions. Brenda expanded the use of ACH payments by setting residents up with e-billing in lieu of paper statements. She often trains new employees and created the township's instructions for operations, which has helped to ensure there is consistency throughout the office. Additionally, Brenda expanded and streamlined the township's annual Tom King Memorial Junk Day, which allows residents to dispose of their unwanted treasures at no cost. She organizes the entire event by handling the marketing, arranging the vendors, and balancing the associated costs. Brenda has saved the township money by significantly improving the time efficiencies to process the residents. She also took over human resources, benefits, payroll, W-2s, and retirement plans. Our 2021 Deputy Clerk of the Year, Brenda Butler-Challenger.
That was a hard act to follow. I want to thank everybody for honoring me today. I would like to thank everybody for honoring me today. I would like to thank the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks and everyone that voted for me as Deputy Clerk of the Year. I would like to thank Superintendent Hildebrandt and former Clerk McQueen for nominating me, the Board of Trustees for supporting me, and my fellow co-workers for always chipping in where needed. If it wasn't for Bath Township's excellent team, all those things wouldn't be possible. It takes a team to be able to accomplish all the things that we need to get done daily. For an example, when working the 2020 elections last year, I pulled co-workers from any and all departments, as most of you probably did also. We came in early and stayed late, making sure everything was accomplished. It brought us together, and together we were able to achieve a great deal. As much as I appreciate this award, and as grateful as I am for it, the greatest reward I've been given is to be able to work with the residents of Bath Township and being able to make a difference in our community. I would like to thank everyone else who supported me. There are so many people that I'd like to list, but I want to just thank everybody personally. Lastly, I would like to give a shout out to my daughter Stephanie, as she has always inspired me to reach out to achieve greater things, both personally and professionally. Thank you.
I would like to now introduce last year's Village Clerk of the Year, Kalkaska's Angie Kuhn. Angie Kuhn began her municipal career as a records clerk for the Kalkaska Police Department in 2001. In 2008, she took on the roles of accounts payable clerk, administrative assistant, and deputy clerk of the Village of Kalkaska, while still maintaining her duties for the police department. In 2010, Angie was sworn in as village clerk, at which time she assumed the positions of payroll clerk, utility billing supervisor, and benefits coordinator and human resources director. Village Council President Harley Wales nominated Angie and stated that she is an exemplary employee who shows respect to her community leaders and holds them in the highest regards. She takes her position seriously and to heart. Angie states that with little time to prepare for the duties as clerk, her initial training was self-taught until attending Clerking 101. Angie is an active member of the MAMC, many civic programs, and serves as the Vice President of the Parish Council of Catholic Women. Angie cannot be with us this evening, so we will celebrate in her honor. Next, I would like to introduce this year's Village Clerk of the Year, Romeo's own Catherine Trapp. Catherine possesses extensive knowledge and experience in local government, beginning with her years as a student at Oakland University. In addition to earning a political science degree, she performed internships with the 10th Congressional District Congressman and the Oakland County Finance Department. She also served 3.5 years with Oakland University's student government organization, known as Student Congress. Catherine began her her professional career in this area as staff assistant for the Ray Township office in October 2015. Catherine also served on the Village of Romeo Planning Commission from 2015 to 2018. These previous endeavors helped prepare her for her role as clerk. Catherine was elected Romeo Village Clerk in November of 2018. Her many responsibilities include serving as website manager, FOIA and Human Resources Coordinator, sexton for the Village of Romeo Cemetery, and administrator for the Cemetery Board. Recording secretary for the Board of Trustees, including coordination of board packets, and community development block grant coordinator. Additionally, Catherine continues to assist with the planning and zoning and building departments. Catherine continues to educate herself in all areas of the municipality in order to serve the community and its residents to the highest degree possible. Catherine believes the Village of Romeo has seen a great growth in recent years and is proud to be a part of that progress. Catherine was nominated by Romeo Village President Christine Malzahn. So your 2021 Village Clerk of the Year is Catherine Clerk.
Hello, everybody. Very happy to be here today. I do have many people to thank, my family and the residents. Also want to thank the village president, Christine Malzahn, for nominating me and for being with me on this journey, and my hardworking staff. I was elected for this position a few years ago, and I can't tell you how many times throughout the campaign I heard, you know you're not going to win, but good for you for trying. Yeah. I grew up in Romeo, and like many people who grow up and stay in their hometown, they want to see better things happening, and they want to see the town grow and improve. So I did it. I beat the odds and won. And I won that election. And after I won that election, the only people I could think of were my daughters. I didn't have time to think about the ones who said I couldn't do it. I only thought about, hey girls, mommy did it. Mommy won the election. So with all my ups and downs with this job, they are the reason I roll into my office every day and keep improving the town, myself, and their future. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce this year's, next, I would like to introduce last year's Township Clerk of the Year. I am off on my, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Mary Clark has served Delta Township as their clerk since 2011. She has also served as the Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Lansing area for 10 years, the Executive Director of the Capital Area Youth Alliance for 2 years, and as a Legislative Assistant in the Michigan House of Representatives for 5 years. Township Manager Brian Reed says this about Mary. Clerk Clark has performed honorably in her position, providing innovative and above-average service to Delta Township residents, wisdom and energy to local, county, regional, and statewide associations, and provides volunteer time and expertise to the state of Michigan. Mary has partnered with the Eaton County Clerk's Office to offer space in the Township Administration Building to provide county clerk services to Delta Township residents, which saves many Delta residents a significant amount of time, as they do not need to drive to the county seat. She recently conducted an audit of both township cemeteries and is creating a searchable database of those buried in the township and all documents associated with those burials, some dating back to the 1800s. She also recently conducted an audit of all 110 township-owned vehicles and is partnering with the other township department to track all documents, costs, insurance, and maintenance of these vehicles. Clerk Clark has served on the Election Modernization Advisory Committee, is currently the president of the MAMC, having served on the board of directors since 2014, as well as being the current president of the CAMCA. She served as the MAMC Education Chair for 4 years and has team taught Clerking 101 for 3 years and has taught legislative process sessions at both the MAMC Institute and Master Academy. She has also testified on behalf of clerks in both the Michigan House of Representatives and the Michigan Senate. In her free time, Mary volunteers as a victims advocate for the Eaton County Sheriff's Office, is a team member of the Eaton County Child Death Review Team, a founding member of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Community Advisory Council, a founding member of the Capital Area Women's Leadership Council, and is the vice president and chair of the Personnel Committee of the Eaton County Public Transit. Congratulations, Mary Clark. Our 2020
Forgive me for stepping in here. You're all extraordinary, but there's only one Mary Clark. And Mary, you have done, I'm glad that it says June 2020 on here, but it's remarkable in that in the months that followed this date, you stepped up in ways that were extraordinary last year. And I just want to take a moment to just formally say, really, thank you for being a voice for every clerk in this room, for the entire community, for election administrators around the country at a time when that leadership was, I think, needed and welcomed. And I know it's not been easy, but it means a lot to me and to all of us that you're willing to step up and serve as such a great leader for the entire election administration community in the state during such difficult times. So, thanks.
I'm going to say about 3 sentences. Number one, I'm totally envious of all of you whose families work elections for you. My daughter works for the state of Michigan, and I said, Kate, how would you like to work the electronic poll book for me in one of our precincts? And she said, let me get this straight. You want me to burn a day to come and work for 14 hours for next to nothing pay, right? No, I'm not doing it. So she does doors for me. Well, luckily I haven't had to for several years, but she has a young family, and I get that her time's off is very, very, very important to her, and they are not spent doing elections.
Next, I would like to introduce this year's Township Clerk of the Year, Canton Township's Michael Segrist. Michael is the Canton Township Clerk first elected in 2016. His credentials include MIPMC and CMC. He also holds a Master's of Science in Taxation. Michael was nominated by 4 different individuals. While young in the profession, Michael has been very active in his community, having served on the Canton Public Library Board and the Plymouth Canton Community School Board of Education. Michael serves as the treasurer for the Association of Wayne County Clerks, a voting member of MAMC Legislative Committee, and was recently elected to the MAMC Board of Directors. Michael has a very diverse voter population and has worked to ensure Canton Township precincts are staffed with multilingual inspectors to appropriately assist this diverse population. After the passage of Proposal 3 in 2018, he worked diligently to educate his voters of their new rights and expanded the permanent absentee voter application list from 8,200 voters to 35,000 voters. Michael's office recently won a Clearinghouse Award from the United States Election Assistance Commission for outstanding innovation in election cybersecurity and technology. This year's Township Clerk of the Year is Michael Segrist.
If you didn't get enough of me from the bylaws conversation, get ready. It has been said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I can't think of a more accurate quote that reflects how I'm on the stage today. First and foremost, I have to thank my wife, Lindsay, and my entire family for allowing me to do one of the most challenging jobs in public service. It is not a coincidence that my 2-year-old and my 5-month-old children were both born in odd years as a township clerk. Second, I have to thank my staff. Standing on stage, I feel a bit like a phony. Because the people who work in the Canton Township Clerk's office, and every single person who works as an inspector for my community, has shown a commitment to the residents and voters. And I'm Deputy Clerk Anthony Assmaker, who is left to go testify to the Elections Commission in Lansing, Elections Committee in Lansing today. But you all make me look good. You make me look real good, and I appreciate it. Third, I have to thank my fellow board members on the MAMC. At the MAMC, taking on these roles are challenging and difficult to do, especially when we're completing the day-to-day tasks that come with being a clerk. Each and every one of them have been a resource to help me be successful as secretary and now as director of Ways and Means. Finally, the second reason I feel a bit like a phony is because the minute I was told I was going to be nominated for Clerk of the Year, and this is because I'm a human, my mind started frantically thinking about all the amazing clerks and election officials I know in the state who I look up to. People I turn to for guidance, support, an ear to listen to, and a shoulder to cry on. And I prayed to God that none of them were going to be nominated too. Seriously, I'm so grateful. But seriously, clerks shy away from the spotlight. We don't nominate each other for recognition often. We don't like our work. We like to do our work quietly and without controversy, which has become impossible after last year. We oftentimes turn down nominations for Clerks of the Year. It's not easy to be nominated and compete with all of our heroes, but I think acknowledging each other is important. I think acknowledging how we collectively solve problems is important. So please acknowledge your heroes and don't turn down nominations in the future. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I don't know what the road ahead looks like for clerks, but I know we're going to go far, but only if we go together. Thank you.
Next up, I would like to introduce our 2020 City Clerk of the Year, Melanie Riska, from the City of Sterling Heights. Melanie's career in municipal government began in 2002 as an election assistant for the City of Hamtramck and accepted the appointment of City Clerk in 2005. She then took a position as Deputy City Clerk in Grosse Pointe Woods in 2007. In 2014, Melanie joined Wayne County as the Assistant Director of Elections, broadening her knowledge of the law and strengthening her professional network. In 2017, the City of Sterling Heights appointed Melanie to serve as their city clerk. Along with her duties as city clerk, she also serves as a lieutenant in the Hamtramck Police Reserves and has been a reserve since 2003. Melanie received her CMC in 2009 and her MIPMC in 2014. She is a member of the IIMC and MAMC, for which she serves on the Board of Directors as Chair of Education. She also serves as Secretary of the Macomb County Clerks Association, Team Manager of the FC Union Soccer Club, Vice President of the St. Anne Athletic Board, and is a former President of the Association of Wayne County Clerks. Melanie earned her psychology degree from the University of Michigan in Dearborn and expects to complete her master's degree by 2022. Throughout her career, Melanie has been a champion for clerks across the state, oftentimes mentoring new clerks and encouraging association membership and education. She has been called upon to speak at various organizations such as the American Society for Public Administration and the Association of Wayne County Clerks to share her experience, best practices, and provide legislative updates. Most recently, Melanie implemented OnBase agenda management system as the first phase to modernizing the city's record keeping and has begun a plan to expand OnBase to serve as the citywide content management system. Her clerk's office also earned the Department of the Year award from Sterling Heights. The 2020 City Clerk of the Year, Melanie Riska.
I'll keep this brief. So as Holly, thank you all. As Holly was reading that, I was thinking, boy, a lot of that's like outdated now because this is like, we're talking, you know, from way back to the beginning of 2020. So I echo everything that everybody before me has said. Michael, I think you did a great job. And so everything that he said applies for my team, for my organization, for this organization. And it's very much an honor to be a part of this industry. So thank you very much.
Our final recipient of the day is our 2021 City Clerk of the Year, Romulus's own Ellen Craig Bragg. Ellen began her career in public service in 2005 when she was elected to City Council for the City of Romulus, while she worked for the Romulus Community Schools from 1997 to 2009. She was only the second African American to hold the office since 1975. In 2009, she was elected city clerk and continues to serve the residents of Romulus with passion and conviction. In elections, Ellen has consolidated precincts from 18 to 12, implemented EPB, including dual EPB, overhauled election inspector training, created a comprehensive handbook, implemented public service announcements to educate voters, holds mock election demonstrations for middle and elementary school students, created a newsletter with voter information and updates, and frequently visits with senior citizens to assist with the AV process. Ellen has also established a cemetery board of trustees, cemetery ordinance, and cemetery rules and regulations pamphlet. She implemented the Pontum software to manage cemetery records and online burial searches. Ellen worked with Wreaths Across America, which provides wreaths to place on the graves of veterans in the Romulus Cemetery, and they also raised $1,500 to donate to a disabled veteran and his family. She also assisted the Cemetery Board of Trustees with fundraising to purchase trees and 3 Victorian gates for the cemetery. Ellen volunteers on the Romulus Drug Task Force, Dr. Martin Luther King Day Community Celebration, Chamber of Commerce, Arts Council, Pumpkin Festival Committee, and is the Director of Music for the Union Grove Missionary Baptist Church. Clerk Craig Bragg is a member of the Association of Wayne County Clerks, Wayne County Executive Urban Alliance of Michigan Task Force, MML, Michigan Black Caucus, MAMC, IIMC, and Michigan Association of Municipal Cemeteries. She holds her MIPMC and CMC credentials and believes there is always room for improvement. This year's 2021 recipient is Ellen Craig Bragg.
Wow. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I first would like to just acknowledge our Heavenly Father, who's the creator of all things, and without Him, none of this would be made possible. It is with great emotion and sheer shock that I stand here before you today to receive the Clerk of the Year award and to join the past recipients whom I admire and respect. I'm full of a lot of emotions: nervousness, gratefulness, humbled, and extremely honored to be receiving this great award. I want to give a heartfelt thank you to those who nominated me and supported my nomination. I never imagined that I would be standing here again today to receive this great award. To be recognized by my colleagues and counterparts in such a manner is breathtaking, to say the least. A special salute to all of this year's nominees, each of whom are as deserving of this award and has made incredible contributions to the clerking profession and in their communities. As I stressed over what I would say, I reflected back to when I first ran for clerk. I will admit I didn't know much about the role of a city clerk except for what I observed during my tenure on city council. Boy, was I in for the roller coaster ride of my life. What I didn't realize was all the hats that a clerk wears. My first election, which happened to be on an even year. Boy, it had me like a deer in headlights. But I really thought I was ready. I was positive, ready for a challenge, and after all, I had completed my first year of institute and completed the elections officials program, accreditation program. But the more I was preparing for the election, the more I kept asking myself, oh God, what have I gotten myself into? But then came along this valiant clerk, and she was wearing her shining armor of election knowledge. She came to rescue me and shared with me everything she knew about elections. She even conducted the training for my election inspectors. And from that day, we became the best of friends, and we continue to share best practices. And that clerk is Amy Whipple, the 2020 Deputy Clerk of the Year. That experience demonstrated that to be successful in this profession, you can't do it alone. No matter how much you think you may know, there's always something new to learn and to share. We must be willing to work as a team regardless of our political, religious, social, or personal differences. Clerks are the nucleus of local government. We make each other better. I'm a better clerk because of each and every one of you. My Wayne County associations and this association, in this job, we are forever learning and sharing to be better. We are fortunate to have such a diverse and excellent organization as the MAMC that provides us with quality experiences throughout the state of Michigan. I am reminded of a quote by Benjamin Franklin: "If better is possible, then good is not enough." Winning this award would not have been made possible without the inspiration and support I have received from my family, staff, friends, colleagues, and the Romulus community. I would like to make special mention of several individuals who saw the passion in me when I couldn't see it myself. I sincerely thank each of you for helping me reach a stage where I can proudly hold up this award as a mark of achievement. Because of you, I derived the strength to challenge myself and perform better at each stage. First, I'd like to acknowledge Barbara Fitzgerald, who started this journey with me and served as a deputy clerk for 10 years until her retirement. And again, to my valiant friend, Amy Whipple. I don't see her in the room right now. She's in the back, okay. Oh, there you are. To my incredible team, Deputy Clerk Dejan Hockenholm, our elections clerk, Katie Tomasic, who are here today with me, and to Ann Lammers and Sean Mullins, who are back at the office holding things down while we're here. And last, but certainly not least, my family. My children and grandchildren could not be here today, but they are watching. But my husband of 34 years, Stan, is here with me. Thank you for being my rock on this journey. Even when he was fighting for his life just 3 years ago, and I had to balance and juggle between being by his side in the hospital or being at work, because it was during an election year, he would always encourage me and remind me that I have a job to do. It is amazing to reflect on the first time I took my first oath as a Girl Scout, and I affirmed, on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country and to help other people at all times and to live the Girl Scout law. Only for life's journey to bring me to this point in my life and the position that I hold, where I administer the oath to individuals who are so daring enough to serve their country and help their community at all times. This award celebrates each and every one of you, so courageous enough to make your communities better. In closing, may we always work together, nurture and support each other, and grow the unique image and role of a clerk. Thank you.
Thank you to Secretary Benson for helping to acknowledge the award recipients from 2020 and 2021. Thank you to all the clerks of the year for everything you do for your communities, the profession, and each other. I will now turn the event back over to our president, Mary Clark.
Again, I stand between you and lunch. Tara, are they ready? They're ready, but are they letting tables go or?
Do you want them to release tables or how do you? We will.
Yes. Okay, so wait for your, please, I know you, wait for your table to be released and enjoy, and we will see you back here at 1:30. Thank you.